Hello, everybody. Welcome to our community real estate school. We've got a really exciting thing for you guys today. The first two licensed real estate agents with our community real estate education are now licensed. And it is a high school senior and his dad, who happens to be a high school teacher. You can't make this stuff up. I'm so excited about having these two on the show. James has been there from day one of our community real estate school. And not only has he been there through all of it, even after getting licensed, he's still showing up because, of course, we're teaching people what they're not teaching in real estate school. So I'm going to go ahead and bring James and his dad, Fred, onto the show right now. Now, normally we're teaching them in Zoom every day in the real estate education course. But now that they are licensed real estate agents, I wanted to introduce them to all of you guys so you could have an opportunity to ask them the questions that you might have. So James and Fred, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Hello.
I appreciate you guys being in here right now. I appreciate you being willing to go live. I know that's kind of outside of everybody's comfort zone and whatnot. So first things first, why don't we do this? Whose idea was it to get started in real estate?
I think it was mine.
Yeah, it was.
My brother mentioned the amount of money that could be made in real estate, and I was intrigued. That's not all about real estate, obviously, but yeah, I started doing courses, and then my dad hopped on and did it with me. So that's how this all started.
What was so interesting about that is, just like you said, you started doing real estate courses, and you have been in there every day with me, and then your dad ended up coming on, and which was kind of a cool thing as well. And then you guys, as of, what was it, Wednesday, Tuesday, you passed your test?
It was Monday, actually.
Monday, yeah.
So as of Monday, you guys officially became licensed real estate agents.
We have. We're super excited.
Okay, cool. And then, so tell me, so of course you decided that you wanted to become licensed in real estate. What was it specifically that made you decide to work with our community to pursue getting your real estate license?
James, you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, my dad actually was the first person who mentioned our community. He first contacted Janice Lovendahl and hooked us up with David, and I joined our community school, and that's how it all started.
So we've talked a little bit about how to get licensed and whatnot, and Fred, you've been quick to give me a lot of praise, which I, of course, have accepted very graciously. But the thing is we're not just talking about all of the boring stuff that you learn in real estate school. Could you kind of give people a little bit of an idea of what you've been learning, Fred, as a high school teacher, high school senior, and what do you teach in your high school?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. So what do you teach,
Okay,
and then what have you been learning in our community real estate school?
Yeah, what I teach is business in Lake Elsinore, actually. I am in the Temecula Valley area, but I'm at Ortega High School in Lake Elsinore. Was at Elsinore High School before that. But I teach primarily business classes to students. Nothing specifically in business, but basically how to run their own companies. And I've taught health, and right now I teach like 9 different subject matters. But the reason why I looked into EXP because I was looking for the best real estate company to go with at the time. I saw EXP, talked to a lot of people who work for EXP, found out about Janice Levendahl, like James said, and then she turned us on to you. And I actually wanted to join James because I can't actually be in the classes during the adult session, and so I have to join him. It's not to watch over him or anything. It's just to actually because I have that time. And then what I really have gotten out of that aspect is the guest speakers you have are just blowing me away. Mondays and Fridays especially. And just being around you to hear, all your insight into it has been amazing. That's why we keep coming back, because even though we have that license now in hand, we know that what we're getting is $1 million experience. And so that's why we're coming back. So
I appreciate you saying that. That was one of the things that you said the other day. You said, we feel like we're getting $1 million coaching, some like one-on-one stuff. And so we talk just about every day after the Zoom meeting. And we've had a lot of opportunity to get to know one another, brainstorm a little bit about you guys and your business. And quite honestly, James, the most shocking thing about all of this, I tell people, I teach fun stuff on Mondays and Fridays, special guest instructors, Socratic discussions, things like that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it is incredibly boring at times, but we're reading, right? We're teaching the stuff right out of the book. You showed up the day after you took your real estate course to sit with me through the boring stuff. So I wanted to commend you for that, my brother.
Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy it.
So what is it about real estate that made you decide that you wanted to join your son James there, Fred?
Well, actually, I've been teaching for 20 years, and eventually you get to the point where maybe it's time to move on. And I know in about 5 years, it's time for me to move on. And I'll be about 58 years old at that time. And I've always loved real estate and being around real estate. I was a general contractor before I went into teaching, being around homes. And when my son was going into it, I thought, why am I not doing this? I should be doing this too. And I love being around James. As I've told you in the past, he's probably one of the most, I hate to say it this way, but trainable. He listens to what adults say, and a lot of kids his own age don't do that. So for any of those kids that are out there, one of the best things you could do is listen to people who are older than you, wiser than you, and listen to them, and then implement what they say. And I always wish he was one of my students at my school, because of what I teach in business. He would be just flourishing in my class. And so
what's
I
so
love
cool
being around.
teaching James and some of these young people that are in the office, because the adult real estate school, of course, runs from 9 to 10 o'clock. And I've got a lot of guys who are, 18, 19, but 21, 22, 23, 24 years old. And a lot of people tend to say, oh, young people, they don't hustle. They don't work hard. This next generation, they're so lazy. And I'm like, you could not be more wrong.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love working with Generation Z. They're the future. And I don't have to teach James how to use technology. So it's just been such a pleasure working with James. It's been a pleasure working with, Gino and Lika and Daniel and Mikey right here in the office. There's a lot of young guys that are coming into the office. They're finding a part of it, and their parents or a lot of the adults are following them into it. So what was it specifically, James? You said there was a lot of opportunity to make money in real estate. What is it that you are learning over the course of this course that you're ready to implement once you get started?
That's a great question.
I was looking for more than a 7-word answer, so I'm going to go for you right now.
Could you repeat the question real quick?
I will repeat the question. What is it that you're ready to implement and get started on when you hit the summer this summer? You're a high school senior right now, right? So like when you're done this summer and then you're ready to start working with your dad, what are you guys going to do to get started?
First, using the 3 things that we learned from your Monday class with the 3 professionals about door knocking, cold calling, and staying at open houses. But I think primarily we're gonna use door knocking as our main lead generation. So that's probably gonna be our most used thing that you've probably taught us.
And I love your guys' approach on door knocking. We talk about door knocking with value instead of just door knocking to door knock. And I won't blow it for you guys because it's such a great idea. And it was, again, James's idea, right? So it will be loose lips about it. I'll let you implement it out there in Vintage Hills when you get started. What is it that you would like to tell people about starting a career in real estate, about your experience here with our community?
Yeah. You want to take it then?
No, go ahead, James. You're doing great.
I would say, join our community because it's teaching you about real estate for free. We had to pay for a class before we met David, and it's a great experience to be free. So I would say, totally join it. It's crazy.
I appreciate that, James. Like at the end of the day, a lot of people said, "Why aren't you charging for this?" And it's because I want the information to get out there. You know what I mean? I want the quality of people in real estate to improve. I want to improve my industry, and the best way that I can do it is by flooding it with good people. And it's been a pleasure to teach you guys. I love having a teacher in the classroom. It's great for me. It's great to have that kind of feedback. Hannah Wolf is watching right now on Facebook. She says, "Super cool. Congrats to both of you." It's been inspiring. It's one of
Yeah,
those
thank
things that we're
you.
watching in the office, and I told people, hey, listen, in my high school course right now, there's a high school student, a high school senior, and his dad, who is a high school teacher, and they're both licensed right now. They're the first people to do it, and so I'm super proud of you guys for making that happen. So I wanted to make sure that people know how to reach out to you guys now that they're licensed, how they can follow you. So we threw your phone number up there on the board, 951-704-2350. If you want to reach out directly to Mr. Aspan Martin, the business teacher and now licensed real estate agent. And then, of course, if you want to reach out to James, he's on Facebook. You can feel free to reach out to him and ask him questions about getting licensed. Like, let's say you're a high school senior and you're thinking about it, thinking about maybe taking the jump. Or maybe you're a junior and you're thinking about doing it next year. For example, and that's a great place to go. And I'm going to have you bring it up right here. We've got Trevor in the office. He is a new agent right here. He got licensed in January. He's got a couple of clients he's working with. He said, you guys working together are going to kill it. And I agree with him.
Thank you so much, Trevor.
So, James, what would you have to say to your fellow high school students about working in real estate? Because that's really, that's the message that needs to be heard. And it doesn't necessarily need to be heard from a 35-year-old dude. I think that hearing it from an 18-year-old would be great. What would you say to your fellow high school students about getting licensed in real estate?
As seniors, our school pushes college, and it's only college. I've only thought about college because that's all I've known. And choosing real estate is a totally different option that I had to learn about. And it doesn't take a college degree. You can start earning money now while you're in high school. So that's a great option, definitely to look forward to and to look into. So.
I agree with you 100%. It's one of those things when I was 18, 19 years old, I was willing to work extraordinarily hard for money. You know what I mean? And there's this mindset that 18 and 19-year-olds are lazy. It's like, no, absolutely not. These are the guys that are the backbone of the economy, but they're not giving a shot at creating wealth. There's no one teaching young people how to create generational wealth. So as a high school teacher, there, Mr. Aspan Martin, as a business teacher, how do you see this being implemented in high schools, and who do you think that this would benefit?
Well, all my business students are the perfect candidates for this, and I was hoping that my former CEO would be part of this. We'll get her sooner or later to get in here. She is an amazing student of mine at Ortega High School, and she's determining whether or not she wants to go into nursing or real estate, and she probably could do both. So those are the students that I know I'm looking for to let them know about it as an option. So and there's a lot of kids that a lot of people discount. They don't think that a continuation high school student can do this, and that's what I primarily work with. And a lot of those kids are actually entrepreneurial in spirit, and the reason why they fall behind in school is because school's boring at times, and they want to just get out there and hustle and make money and do big and good things for their families. And so I have a lot of kids that are encouraged in my business classes about real estate, and I share a lot of what's going on with my son and I with them. So and I always tell the kids who are bilingual, boy, if you're bilingual, the California is, there's so many opportunities here for that. Any students out there that are bilingual and thinking about business at all, I would encourage them to do that.
Absolutely. It's one of the reasons why we actually have our adult class translated live into Spanish. So
That's
Christian
amazing.
Enriquez and Andres de Arense translate the class into Spanish because that market is so huge. And there's so many people out there that need to be served that are buying and selling real estate. Couple of different things. So I was actually in nursing school when my real estate career took off after the Marine Corps. And so was Christian Stone, and so was Melissa Huck. And so we all talk about all these different things about, it's really a different kind of service. You're helping people find a home. It takes generally having empathy for one another. And so I think you guys are going to be absolutely wonderful. Hannah Wolf said, free info is amazing because only those driven to succeed will listen to it and take that information and make it into something special. I could not agree with you more, Hannah. That is the truth. One of the things that we were talking about with my mentor, Rosie Rodriguez, I said there needs to be a barrier to success that is not financial. Only having financial barriers to success, right now there's the difference between someone who has $102 who could be a great real estate agent, and someone who doesn't have $102 and would be a great real estate agent is minimal. So
Right.
how do we eliminate that burden? And I love what you said about being a business teacher in these continuation schools. Like, I graduated from high school homeless. Okay, we've talked about that a little bit and what that did. A lot of my friends went off. They went off to 4-year degrees. I didn't even know we had to apply to colleges at that time. And so I feel like by teaching people this sort of financial literacy, especially in like these continuation schools or people who aren't necessarily going off to college. If you're going off to college, it's a great side gig. You know, do a little bit of hustling while you're in college or whatnot. But for those of you who are not going to college, who can't afford college, who, you know, maybe you're in a continuation school and you're barely squeaked out of high school, these people tend to be hustlers. They tend to be, you know, I come from a poor family and we worked hard, you know what I mean? And so all I would say is you will never be turned away here at our community. You know, you're seen here with Fred, you're seen here with James. I see you, you're valuable, right? And so that's why we're making this information free. That's why it's on YouTube. We're loading a new class every day. And so I appreciate you guys being willing to give back here. So Blanca said, I'm so happy for both of you. I wish you the best. A high school student working with his dad, I can't imagine that things won't work out. Hannah Wolf said, truer words have never been spoken. You guys are getting a lot of love. It's a big deal doing what you're doing. And I applaud you guys for doing it. Hey, James, are you excited about working with your dad?
Yeah,
Better say yes.
totally. I think it will be both beneficial for both of us to
It will
go
be.
on, like asking him questions. He'll probably ask me social media questions, so it will just work together. So
That's awesome.
We're a good team.
better than one.
And then
We
Fred,
learned a long time ago we're a good team when we go fishing together, and it's carrying over to real estate.
and really I tell people that's what we're doing every day. We're fishing, right? And so it's great to have some good tools when you're fishing, and it's great to have some good company when you're fishing. So, Fred, one of the things that I love about watching you work with James is you're constantly complimenting him. You're constantly talking about what a great guy he is and all these great ideas that he has. And it takes an evolved man to constantly be complimenting his son. I applaud you for that. You know what I mean? Giving him that love and that support. You excited about working with your boy?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a dream to work with well, all my kids are extremely intelligent. James and I have a special bond where we actually just work well together. We don't always agree on everything. In fact, the other day we were arguing about something to do with, I think, what was it, our email names and stuff. I mean, little things like that. But at the end of the day, we respect each other's opinion. I respect him a lot, more than most 18-year-olds for sure. I don't think my dad had the same respect for me at that age for sure. But yeah, I am actually excited to work with him. I know he's going to be extremely successful. When I'm gone, he'll be successful, and I know it. He's going to build an incredible team. Whoever gets to work with him is going to have a real mentor on their, to benefit them like you have for him. So.
I agree entirely. It's one of those things I tell people all the time, like you're always leading and you're always following, right? So like whether you realize it or not, somebody is following you. Somebody's watching you. And so setting that example is a huge deal, which I think both of you guys are doing. Barbara Moody, our NHD rep, there was Snap NHD, says congratulations. I'm sure that she's excited about working with you guys.
Thank you.
Amy, my sister, who is sitting here right now watching you guys. Amy's always wanted to get long-winded just like me. So let's see where we're going to fit this comment here. Amy said, through education, the world can be healed. We must empower our youth to financial freedom and generational wealth through entrepreneurship. I love the parent-child team idea. This is all what it's all about. It's time for a real estate revolution. Thank you, Amy.
Well written.
Amy's very passionate. But that's true. That's truly what it's about. We got our youth here. There's a lot of people that say a lot of negative things. Well, it's like, hey, listen, if you're not offering solutions, you're just complaining, right? If you're complaining about the next generation and you're not involved in the trenches, you can just keep your mouth shut because we don't need the negativity.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm excited about dragging out this interview as long as I possibly can, we've been on it for 19 minutes here. Normally I have you guys, I'm reading to you guys for an hour on Thursdays. So I feel like we got off of the chain really easily. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to James or Fred directly. And what I would like to do is I would just like to ask you guys if you have anything to say in closing before we go ahead and end this video, about what we've got going on, about what you've got going on, anything that is on your heart that I didn't ask you about. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll start with Fred, and then we'll cut it loose. So Fred, what's your message for the people here watching at home?
Anybody out there that wants something challenging and wants good mentorship, go to our community. Talk to David Serpa. He will not turn you away. He's authentic. We've talked to him and listened to him for weeks, and he's never disappointed us. And so I can't say enough about this man. I think he's a natural born teacher. And I mean, I don't know him that well, but I already love him. So I think he's a great guy.
I love you, my brother. I really genuinely appreciate that. And to come from a teacher, that means the world. James, what's your message for the people, my friend?
Yeah, if you're still in high school, give real estate a shot, or just check it out. And our community is free, and it's a great class. You will learn everything that you need to be successful. So, yeah.
Fantastic. James, this is the quietest I've seen you all semester. It's it's nice to see this side of you. So we have a great conversation every time at the end of class. I love you, my brother. I love your dad, Fred. I'm grateful for both of you guys for being a part of that. If it wasn't for James, I would literally be reading to myself 90% of the time in the high school course. The adult course is packed. The adult course is a bunch of people, but in the high school course, it's like me and James hanging out. So if you guys would like to go ahead and join us at our community, it's not too late to go ahead and get started. We could go ahead and give you guys that Zoom access. I'm sure you could just go ahead and enter into the comments wherever you guys see this video, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook. We'll give you the Zoom link so you could have the back access, whether you are a high school student or an adult. The high school class is taught live. It's an after-school program from 4 to 5. And the adult class is taught live from 9 to 10 o'clock. And part of that, the reason why we do it at 9 to 10 o'clock is because we have the commission boot camp, which follows immediately after. Because, of course, this isn't something we talk about a lot in the high school course, but in the adult course, you can earn commission while you are learning. 25% finder's fee for anyone that that can find and identify people who need to buy and sell real estate. But that's not you guys anymore. You guys don't need to work as unlicensed finders. You guys are licensed realtors. So welcome to the real estate family, my friends.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, well, I'm going to cut this out right now. You guys get an extra 35 minutes of your day back this Thursday, and I'll see you guys in class tomorrow for the Socratic discussion.
Looking forward to it.
Sounds good.
You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much.
Bye, Fred. Bye, James.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. How awesome was that? We just had Fred and James Aspan Martin, a high school senior and a high school teacher out in Lake Elsinore. Both of them are now licensed. They're serving the Vintage Hills area of Temecula, which is where they live. And, you know, like I said, James is 18. He's licensed. He's ready to start working, ready to start making money. Fred is a business high school teacher, and they're now a father-son team. How cool is that? So I'm really grateful to have an opportunity to teach you guys here at our community. I'm really grateful for everyone that walks in through the front door that says that they want to get a real estate license or calls me. It's just such a blessing. I feel very fortunate to be in this situation. So if you guys are interested in getting started, of course, every single day we teach Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 o'clock after school for the students, and we teach from 9 to 10 o'clock every day in the office and online for anyone who is unemployed or underemployed looking to start that career right away. You do not have to have a license in order to start working as a real estate finder. That, like I said, it's 25% commission. So anyway, anyone who wants to join us, feel free to do so. If you are a high school student, if you are a high school teacher, and you are curious about how this program works because you would like to bring it to your area, feel free to reach out to me directly. My goal with this is I want to get a high school teacher, a high school specified credential, real estate agent teaching into every single high school in California, because that is truly the way that we're going to upset the setup. That's truly the way that we're going to enlighten the next generation and show them what's possible through real estate and help them create generational wealth. Okay, so if you are in high school, great. But if you're in real estate, please reach out to me, because we need teachers, we need mentors. All of these lowercase g's need some OGs to come into the office, bring in a little bit of gravitas. And furthermore, my goal here in the fall of 2021 is I want to get a licensed real estate professional, a mentor, looking good, looking sharp, male, strong man, strong female, walking onto campus in order to help mentor young people in their financial literacy, their business planning, their branding, teaching them how to use social media and how to get paid. So if you are interested in teaching high school, you do not need a credential, okay? We can either do it as an after-school program from 4 to 5 o'clock, or you can get what is called your specified credential, and then you could go into the school during school hours and teach then. This is the only time I want to teach. We're doing it this one time for 15 weeks, and then I want to pass it on to this next group of teachers. We're showing people that it's possible, and already we have 2 licensed real estate professionals in Temecula, a high school senior and a high school teacher, and how awesome is that? So I appreciate you guys giving me that opportunity to be involved in your lives in that way. Such a huge thing, such a huge thing. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a great day. Feel free to reach out to me directly at 951-691-7798. All of our classes are backlogged on YouTube, so you can find every single class there. You can find every single class on Facebook, and you can also find every commission boot camp on Facebook as well, which runs 10 o'clock right here in the office. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Hope to see you here in our community or online to get some of that real estate education. Have a great day, guys.